What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Wizards post-game review. The Washington Wizards played the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they took that L. It was not what you would expected. I definitely thought we were gonna win this one. I didn't think we were gonna win it, but it felt like it was a must-win. Felt like it was something we really needed. The Timberwolves didn't have Jimmy Butler, but you kind of already knew that Timberwolves didn't have Jimmy Butler, so they were gonna play extra hard, and it was gonna be harder to beat them. They're gonna play extra hard, and the Wizards, of course, are gonna hear that they don't have Jimmy Butler and decide to just go cruise control. So tonight's game ended with usually how all of our games have been seeming to end lately. Bradley Beal turning over the ball and we lose. It's just so frustrating to see that same thing happen over and over and over again. Honestly, originally I was watching this game. I watched the first quarter and I fell asleep. I woke up last 49 seconds of the game when Bradley Beal was bricking his free throw. That's what I woke up to. I literally woke up to a bricked free throw. So, yeah, that's what I woke up to, and it was just downhill from there. So, of course, I rewatched the game. Anyway, the score was 116 and 111. Maybe the reason why I fell asleep was because Otto Porter wasn't getting going early, wasn't making his shots, wasn't aggressive. So usually when Otto Porter's not like doing big things, they're not really entertaining for me. So I completely fell asleep. If you've noticed, there's like a pattern. I fall asleep in Wizards games all the time now. That never used to happen. Anyways, so the Wizards lose to Minnesota Timberwolves. It felt like a must-win for the Wizards, but it also really felt like a must-win for the Timberwolves. They just came off a big win on Sunday, on Sunday, I believe, and they definitely were coming in here acting like they really wanted this one. They kept their seeding at 6th in the West, and the Wizards are 5th in the East still because the 76ers lost, so we didn't lose any place. Yeah, it's just definitely an unfortunate win. Definitely a win that we could have had, a game that we could have gotten and just didn't. So those type of games are always unfortunate. Anyway, we're gonna get into our statistics. We're gonna talk about a little bit what happened. Uh, Georgie Georgie Jane. He only had 4 points. Tyus Jones was a starter tonight. He had 8 points. Was he a starter? No, he wasn't a starter. He was off the bench. But he had 8 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. I thought he was evenly matched against Ramon Sessions. Um, Jamal Crawford, Grandpa McBuckets. He had 11 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. He's still out there getting buckets. He'll just be doing this for life. Like, I believe he'll be in the league when he's like 56, just getting buckets. Def Teague made some really good winning plays tonight, especially that steal he got, turnover he forced, whatever it was that he got from Bradley Beal put them up 2, because that basically sealed the game. Like, there was nothing else we could do after that. That sealed the game. So shout out to Jeff Teague. Andrew Wiggins, 16 points, was 4 for 11 in the first half of the game and went 3 for 3 in the second half. Basically, the Wizards had a lead in the fourth. They definitely had a lead in the fourth. And they had 2 leads in the fourth. They blew both of them. Terrible. Terrible. It wasn't I wouldn't even say it was like a terrible game. It was just terrible that the leads were blown. It was terrible that we didn't protect the paint at all. Like 64 points in the paint. Yeah. 64 points. Yeah, I don't have the fingers for it, but 64 points in the paint. So that's like, what? 64 points in the paint? That's like the second only to Miami that we had. So we've given up now over 100 points in the paint in 2 games. We're not protecting the paint at all. Taj Gibson, defensive specialist, 10 points, 8 rebounds. This guy, Bielitsa, who went 2 for 11 throughout the whole game until He made his last 5 shots, 5 for 5. He went 5 for 5. The name Bielitsa was in my head literally for this whole week and a half, like for the whole month of March. Excuse me. The name Bielitsa has been in my head, and I didn't understand why, because I didn't even remember who Bielitsa really was at the time. I was like, why does the name Bielitsa keep coming to my head? Little did I know it was like my psychic abilities letting me know, like, Bielitsa's coming to whoop y'all asses. Bielitsa's coming to whoop the Wizards' asses. Um, who else? Derrick Rose. He showed up, which is half the battle. So he was there. He attended the game. He wore a uniform. Yep. And a player of the game, have to give that to Karl-Anthony Towns, who had 37 points and 10 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 37 points on 17 shots. 13 shots. He was 14 of 17. He missed only 3 shots. Apparently, he took the loss personal. The one against the Wizards last season, he took that really personally. Not last season, earlier this season. He took that personally. When he missed a 3-pointer, he said he ain't missing twice. We seem that we don't ever take anything personally. So, there's that. But, I'm going to get to these bum joint Wizards stats. Mike Scott, 4 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Jody Meeks only had 5 points, but he was active in the game. He's very active in the game. 2 assists, 1 rebound. Ramon Sessions, who is steadily impressing me with his ability to get to the rim. He can dunk as little as he is, he can get up high. 2 assists, 1 rebound. Kelly Oubre Jr. only had 8 points tonight, but he had a really great dunk against Jang in the beginning of the game. Got slapped though. Jan Mahinmi, 10 points. I really liked his matchup against Karl-Anthony Towns. He was playing defense. It was up, it was down, it was good, it was bad. But at the end of the day, he still held his own against him. And, Jan Mahinmi of old, or Jan Mahinmi of last season, that wouldn't have happened. So he really held his own against him and picked up 9 rebounds, 5 of them offensive. Thomas Satoranski had 15 points, including a 3-pointer in the beginning of the game, like first shot off. 7 assists and 8 rebounds. His numbers have been great. Satoranski is growing. He's gaining confidence. I really love seeing him play. Marcin Gortat had 6 points, and we're just going to leave that where that is. He tried, though, against Karl-Anthony Towns, but it just wasn't there. He's just not the guy for us at this point in time right now. Like, the way the league is going with centers, he's not the guy. Bradley Beal scored 19 points on 8 of 16 shooting and had 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Otto Porter had 8 points on 4 of 14 shooting. Was terrible as far as, terrible, because he went 1 for 6 and then 3 for 9. I don't know. 3 for 4. I don't know. You do the math. 3 for however many shots are left out of when you take 7 shots. 3 for 7. Anyways, he had 7 rebounds though, 2 assists. It just wasn't a night for him. He wasn't aggressive. Honestly, he wasn't really aggressive in the game against Miami. He was passing off a lot and deflecting off a lot. Was it Miami? One of these last 4 games, he just really was not aggressive. He just wasn't focused. He wasn't in the game. And this was one of those games where he kind of just wasn't really locked in. He kind of kept deflecting and deferring. He kind of kept deferring. Player of the game, I have to give to Markieff Morris, who did a great job going at Bielitsa and going at Taj Gibson, going at Karl-Anthony Towns, and whoever he was on. 27 points. A lot of people are crediting it to the fact that he wasn't wearing his foams tonight. He was wearing a pair of he was wearing a pair of J's. So he's wearing a pair of J's. A lot of people credit it to that. It was no Jason Smith sighting tonight. 27 points for Markieff Morris, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Solid, great game for him. He was the player of the game. He was the only one. Him and Satoranski are the only ones of the starters that really, truly showed up tonight. Bradley Beal bricked a 3. Not a 3. He bricked a free throw. He tried to pass the ball to Otto Porter in the last few seconds. That made a freaking difference. I was so upset with him. And then Otto missed it. And I'm just well, it was too late anyway, so it doesn't matter if he missed it. And we're not mad at Otto. We're mad at you. So don't try to pass the ball to him after you were an idiot. First ball, I don't know how to help. Voice, stop it. Stop. Who else am I speaking of? Yeah, those are the only two starters that showed up: Thomas Satoransky and Markieff Morris. And then for the bench, only people that showed up was really Ramon Sessions and Jan Mahimi. They went tough and they held their own against their matchups. So it's nothing more that you can really expect from them. The Wizards were out rebounded and they scored the Timberwolves scored a lot of second chance points, like a lot of second chance points, a lot of points in the paint. And it wasn't just Karl-Anthony Towns that was scoring the paint. It was everybody was taking the turn scoring the paint. They were doing a awful job limiting anyone, and it was a god awful game. And on to the next, I guess we could say. Hopefully, I mean we're facing a really depleted Celtics team, but that means nothing because they can still come back, fight hard, and beat us. Anyways, peace, guys. It's your girl Cheese.